was a close one. How do you like your helmet?
Not bad.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
Wind noise?
A little bit. Long rides, take earplugs.
Yeah, dude, I got the same helmet. Have a good one. Hey everyone, thanks for joining me. Motophonic once again. And here to talk to you about the new MT10. The new MT10. Oh yes, and I have a RAM mount now for my phone. Check that out. Very special indeed. That thing was pretty painless to put in. I even put in a USB charger, and ran that cable yesterday. So I've been looking at Super Nakeds, getting pretty excited about the Tunono and the Speed Triple and the new Tunono 1100RR and the factory version. Very, very beautiful bikes. And the Super Duke 1290, I've been kind of eyeing that up as well, but I've got to be honest with you, it really doesn't do it for me. That I own a KTM. Obviously I have this 350 XCF that I use for my off-road riding, which I love. Absolutely love that bike. But if I were to do it all over again, I might have stuck with my 300 XC. I think the two strokes are a little lighter, a little more nimble. But when you get in the slippery stuff, I can tell you that 350 does make its way through that slimy crap nicely. Anyways, I digress. Back to the topic at hand, the MT10. So all the reviews I'm seeing, everything I'm seeing about it is telling me that thing is a monster. It's an R1 engine, much like this bike. When in its heyday, this 2001 SZ1 was based on the 2000 R1 engine, detuned much the same way that the MT10 is for 2017. So, pretty interesting situation here, because this is a 2001. This is obviously a 2017 MT10 that we're talking about here. So about 16 years apart, and the world's come full circle. It's pretty cool. So this cross-plane engine is kind of reminiscent of the V4 in the Aprilia, and they even sound somewhat alike, which I love. I love the Aprilia's Tunono and RS-V4 sound. It's just, you know, nothing like it. It's like a F1 car or something. It's just crazy. So that really kind of turns my crank. I guess the big toss-up is go Euro or go Japanese. And all of the guys that ride really beautiful bikes, like Ducati, Panigale, and or Panigale, whatever you want to call it, and Tuonos and Monsters, and all of those Italian-made bikes are obviously a little biased towards European bikes, BMWs and Ducatis, Aprilias, and I love that too. I think that EU bikes and European bikes in general have a lot of style, a lot of grace, a lot of character. But there's also the practicality of it, and that's where the MT10 comes in. Maybe not as sexy in the character department as the Tunono, and especially the Tunono factory with that amazing GP paint job. But I think practicality tells me that since I'm in North America and all my rides are going to be done likely on the West Coast, I could count the number of Aprilia dealers, you know, on the west side of this continent, likely on one hand. Okay, might be exaggerating a little bit when you get into some of the bigger centers like LA, but maybe Portland and San Francisco. But my point being is that when you're riding down the road and, you know, you need some help, you need a part, and the closest dealer is like 500 miles away, that could become problematic. So in North America, the question I have for you guys is, you know, what would you do if you had the cash, if you've saved up your rubles and you had the cash to buy a European-made Super Naked or a Japanese Super Naked, and you're in North America, okay? I know there are some subscribers overseas and even down in Central America, but I'm primarily talking about North America right now. If you're in North America, would you go for an EU Super Naked, or would you go for a Japanese Super Naked? And there are very few Japanese Super Nakeds. I mean, there's the Z1000, there's the MT10 now, and really the MT10 is kind of standing out, you know, is shoulders above the rest in the Japanese Super Naked class. So yeah, that's my question to you guys. What would you do? I'm kind of partial to the European bikes. I think they're beautiful. I'm riding a Japanese bike right now, and I think that's... I hadn't ridden street for so long, I thought, well, you know what? If I'm going to get back into street, I'm going to do it in kind of a graceful, casual manner. I'm going to get something that's cheap and something that I don't have to spend a lot of money on initially, and something that's cheaper to insure. And the older bikes, even though this is 1,000 cc's, which jacks up the insurance, the older bikes are cheaper to insure. So all those things considered, I decided to go and get myself a 2001 FZ1. But now that I have kind of saved up the rubles and I'm looking to get something a little bit more meaningful, I was looking pretty hard at the Speed Triple. The FZ09 was a contender last year. I was pretty excited about that bike. I still am. But the more I kind of did my research, I felt that maybe the FZ09 didn't quite have enough for what I might want to do with it. And I'm speaking of, you know, quite a bit of the twisty rides and also some of the longer rides. I'm not sure if that really would have cut it long term. So that one's still kind of on the back burner, and less so now, just simply because now the MT10 has arrived, and I'm pretty excited about that. Super excited about that. I'm giving you guys a little bit of a walk around of my FZ1 because I haven't done that yet. In the 6 months that I've been doing this, I really haven't given you guys a shot of the bike. And when I bought it, it was all kind of scuffed up like this. The tank had some scuffs. There's a little... It popped here a little bit. You can see that he put it down on this side. A little bit of a scuff there. And I think some of these parts have been replaced, and because they look a little newer than maybe they should. But you know what? It's a beautiful bike. It's an awesome bike. I really enjoy it. And you see some riveting here from the Somebody tried to patch the bodywork back together. I really do enjoy it, and the whole purpose was to get a bike that I could get on, put on some new rubber, do some basic maintenance to, and jump on and ride for a couple of years. And that's and it's totally serving its purpose that way. It's kind of in the vein of a Super Naked. It has this kind of upright seating position with a kind of a sport-esque feel to it. So it's very much my style of bike. And I wasn't really into the super bikes anymore. I've owned GS6R 1000s and Hurricanes and back in the day, and I really didn't want to have another one of those. My back has felt enough punishment, thank you very much. So, long story short, this will likely be going up for sale soon, and or if they give me a good deal at the dealership, I'll trade it in. But obviously you're always better off selling it privately, because they'll leverage your bike to make it look like you're getting a better deal when in fact you may not be. But so it's a question. It's a question I pose to you guys and you girls. What would you do? European model Super Naked or Japanese model Super Naked? I have to say, the Tunono is a pretty sexy bike. It's a pretty sexy bike, especially that 1100 factory. It's just like, wow, that is a beautiful, looks like a GP bike. But its upright riding position is like, I think it's one of the closest competitors to the MT10, frankly. And the price of the MT10 in Canadian and rubles is about 15,500, and for the limited edition with the god-awful lime green wheels, which I don't like, very subjective comment there, is about 16,000 Canadian. So that's about the same price as the Tuono 1100RR. The Tuono 1100 factory is about 18,000, so there's about a $2,000 difference there from the MT10 to the Tuono. Now, difference. By the time you add all the options on to the MT10 that the 1100 factory has, I'm pretty sure that it would come up around the same price. So there's that. Okay, so off the showroom floor, you're not really comparing them apples to apples. You have to do a little bit of calculation. But that's the struggle, kids, and I'm really close to putting something down on something, putting some of my hard-earned cash down on something so that I can ride one, because generally speaking, these high-end bikes, they don't want to let you on them until you can show them that you're actually serious about buying one. So I'll probably have to do that and get them to PDI it, because the Aprilia shop here locally doesn't generally PDI anything until you put your money where your mouth is, which I can kind of understand. There's a lot of money to be letting people test pilot. So I get that. So yeah, pretty exciting times, and look forward to hearing you guys' comments on this. It's something that I've been kind of thinking about a lot lately, and now that they're like the MT10s have arrived and they're on the showroom floors at the local dealer here, I'm getting the itch, man, and not in a bad way. Alright, fellas and gals, thanks for tuning in once again, and love to hear your comments on this. Don't forget to hit subscribe and throw me a like if you're into this groove, brothers and sisters. Alright, enough of that bullshit. See you guys.